You're cruising down the highway and your car feels smoother than a knife through butter. No bumps, no vibrations, nothing. It's like you're floating. Now, what if I told you that same car could literally drive sideways, climb stairs without breaking a sweat, and pack more power than most supercars? Sounds like science fiction, right? Well, buckle up, because what I'm about to show you is going to completely flip everything you thought you knew about cars. You know that silky smooth ride you get on a bullet train? The one where you can balance a coin on edge and it won't fall over even at 200 miles per hour? Engineers have been dreaming for decades about bringing that exact feeling to regular cars. And guess what? That dream just became reality. We're talking about a vehicle that's rewriting the rule book on what's physically possible with four wheels. So let's dive into something absolutely wild. There's this new electric sedan that's causing chaos in the automotive world, and I'm not exaggerating when I say it's like nothing you've ever seen before. We're talking about a machine with 1,300 horsepower, 4 independent motors, and a suspension system so advanced it makes traditional luxury cars look like horse-drawn carriages. Here's where things get interesting. You know how every car you've ever driven has one, maybe two motors? This beast has 4, one for each wheel. Now you might be thinking, okay, cool, but what's the big deal? Well, imagine having complete independent control over every single corner of your car. Each wheel becomes its own powerhouse, responding instantly to whatever the road throws at it. It's like going from playing piano with oven mitts to having the fingers of a concert pianist. But wait, it gets crazier. The real game changer here is something called an intelligent body control system. Took 7 years to develop. Over 10,000 engineers worked on this thing. And what they created is basically magic. They took the same technology that makes those super-fast trains glide like they're on ice, and they put it in a car. The system uses electric motors in the suspension, and here's the kicker. It reacts in 5 milliseconds. 5. That's faster than you can blink. Actually, it's faster than you can even start to blink. Let me put that in perspective for you. When you hit a speed bump at about 20 miles per hour, a regular fancy suspension might make half an adjustment before you're already over it. This system, it makes 12 adjustments in that same tiny window of time. 12 separate corrections while you're crossing a single bump. It's like having a superhuman constantly smoothing out the road beneath you, predicting every pothole, every crack, every imperfection before your brain even registers it. And the precision? We're talking 1 millimeter accuracy. That's about the thickness of a credit card. To achieve this kind of surgical precision, they developed sensors that can detect movement in 50 microseconds. That means this car is reading and adjusting its body position 4,000 times per second. The sensor is so sensitive it can detect changes smaller than a human red blood cell. Think about that for a second. Your car is essentially taking 4,000 pictures of itself every single second, making tiny adjustments you'll never feel but will absolutely benefit from. Now, here's where your mind is really going to explode. Remember when I said this thing can drive sideways? I wasn't joking. With those 4 independent motors, this sedan can literally move parallel to the curb. You know that nightmare parking situation where you're wedged between 2 cars and you've got maybe a foot of space to work with? While everyone else is doing that awkward 40-point turn, this car just slides out sideways like a crab. They've got it working even when there's only about a foot of clearance in front and behind. Just slides right out. Like it's on rails. And if you think that's impressive, wait until you hear about the U-turn feature. Most cars need a decent amount of space to turn around, right? Not this one. It can spin almost completely in place. 1 button, 15 seconds, and you've done a full U-turn. No straightening the wheel, no back and forth nonsense. Just a smooth rotation that would make a figure skater jealous. Try doing that in a regular luxury sedan. But let's talk about something that absolutely blew my mind when I first heard about it. This car can climb stairs. Yes, you heard that right. Actual stairs. And not like some clunky off-road vehicle that bounces and crashes its way up. We're talking smooth, controlled, almost gentle stair climbing. The suspension system adjusts so precisely that passengers barely feel each step. It's reading the terrain, predicting exactly when the wheel is going to hit the next step, and compensating in real time. You could probably sip coffee while doing it. There's also this wild feature where the car can tilt itself on purpose. Picture this. You're pulling up to a curb that's higher than usual. Instead of that jarring thump when your wheel hits the edge, the car actually leans away from the curb and adjusts its suspension to create a smooth, level transition. It's called negative roll, and it's another one of those things where you didn't know you wanted it until you experience it. Suddenly, every curb crossing feels like you're gliding over butter. Safety-wise, this thing is on another level. Imagine someone T-bones you from the side. In that split second, the suspension instantly raises the side of the car that's about to get hit. Why? Because it transfers the impact force to the stronger parts of the vehicle's structure instead of the weaker door panels. It's like the car is protecting you on instinct, faster than any airbag could deploy. Let's talk about what happens when things go wrong, because this is where the engineering gets really impressive. Say you blow a tire at highway speeds. Normally, that's a terrifying experience that could easily cause you to lose control. But with 4 independent motors, this car can instantly apply corrective force to the other wheels to keep you stable. And here's the insane part. You can blow out 2 tires, even diagonally opposite tires, and the system can still keep the car stable at speeds over 100 miles per hour. Show me another car that can do that. The redundancy is ridiculous. If the main braking system fails, the motors can brake the car. If the steering fails, the motors can steer by controlling the wheels independently. Each motor has its own controller, so if one dies, the other 3 keep working. There are even 2 separate power systems, just in case. It's like they designed this car assuming everything would break, and then made sure it would still get you home safely. Now, power delivery. 1,300 horsepower. That's not a typo. 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds. Top speed of 168 miles per hour. And here's what's wild. They offer both a pure electric version and a plug-in hybrid version, and both hit those same insane numbers. The hybrid version is engineering poetry. They wanted to put a gasoline engine in the front, but there was no space. 2 motors were already taking up room, and the hood was only about 34 inches tall. So what did they do? They designed a completely new engine from scratch. They went with a horizontally opposed layout, kind of like what you'd find in a Porsche 911 or an old Subaru, except they made it even more compact. This engine is only about 16.5 inches tall. That's shorter than most laptop computers standing upright. Here's the thing about horizontally opposed engines. They're notoriously difficult to build. The pistons move side to side instead of up and down, which creates all sorts of lubrication nightmares. So they invented a system with 5 separate oil pumps and 10 different lubrication channels to keep everything running smoothly. The result? An engine that produces about 240 horsepower, stays perfectly balanced, and is so quiet that when it turns on, you can barely tell the difference between hybrid mode and pure electric mode. We're talking about 1 decibel difference. That's less than the sound of a whisper. The tech features are exactly what you'd expect from a cutting-edge vehicle. Laser sensors that can see over 600 feet ahead with insane detail. Computing power that processes everything in real time. An autonomous driving system that's so good, it passed emergency maneuver tests at speeds that would make professional drivers nervous. Over 62 miles per hour in emergency obstacle avoidance, all done by the computer. The automatic emergency braking can stop the car from 75 miles per hour. There's a feature that detects vehicles that might be hidden from view and brakes for them. The navigation system works right out of the box nationwide, and it actually gets smarter the more you use it. It's learning your driving patterns, your preferred routes, your habits. What really gets me excited is thinking about where this technology goes next. Right now, we're looking at a car that can do things that seemed impossible just 5 years ago. It's not just about raw performance or fancy features anymore. We're entering an era where cars are becoming genuinely intelligent, adaptive machines that respond to their environment in ways that feel almost alive. Think about the ripple effects. If suspension technology this advanced becomes standard, we're talking about fundamentally changing the driving experience for everyone. Roads won't need to be as smooth because cars can compensate. Passengers could work on laptops or read without getting motion sick because the ride quality would be that stable. Elderly folks or people with mobility issues could travel more comfortably. The implications are enormous. And here's what keeps me up at night in the best possible way. This is just the beginning. The company building this car has been selected for autonomous driving pilot programs at the highest levels. The vehicle already has all the redundancy and safety systems needed for fully autonomous operation. As regulations catch up with technology, we're going to see capabilities that we can't even imagine right now. What happens when you combine a suspension system this advanced with full autonomy? What happens when these four independent motors can communicate with smart city infrastructure? What happens when every car on the road has this level of control and precision? We're not just talking about better cars. We're talking about reimagining transportation itself. The traditional automotive giants are going to have to respond to this. Companies that have been coasting on brand reputation and legacy technology are suddenly facing competition that's not playing by the old rules. When a vehicle can literally move sideways to park, climb stairs for accessibility, and deliver supercar performance while being quieter than a library, the bar has been raised to a whole new level. So here's my question for you. How long before this kind of technology becomes the standard rather than the exception? Are we 5 years away from every new car having four-motor independent drive? Will magnetic suspension become as common as power steering? And more importantly, how will this change the way we think about personal transportation? I want to hear what you think. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Are you excited about this technology, or does it seem like overkill? Would you trust a car that drives itself sideways, or does that feel too futuristic? And what features would you want to see next? If you enjoyed diving into this technological deep end with me, smash that like button. It genuinely helps more people discover content like this. And subscribe, because the automotive revolution is just getting started, and we're going to be covering every wild development as it happens. I promise you, the next few years are going to be absolutely bonkers for car enthusiasts. There are rumors floating around about even more features in development. Whispers of capabilities that could completely redefine vehicle mobility as we know it. I've got my ear to the ground, and as soon as I get confirmed information, you'll be the first to know. Until then, keep dreaming about the future, because it's arriving faster than any of us expected. Catch you in the next one.